Greetings and thank you for taking the opportunity to click on this video and to watch this video. And I do stress the term opportunity because there is a law that exists in our universe that is described as the law of opportunity. See, nothing happens by coincidence. Nothing happens by happenstance, or there's no such thing as truly lucking up on something. Everything that happened to you was predetermined by you. Some things that happened to you were predetermined by you before you incarnated into this shell or this vessel. Other things that happened to you were determined based upon decisions that you make in this particular incarnation and in this particular lifetime. But everything is predetermined based upon the laws of karma. Now, many people are familiar with The Secret, and many people are familiar with the law of attraction. And I bring that up because people get locked into the law of attraction thinking that that's the only universal law because they saw The Secret DVD, or they may have gotten to metaphysics, and the first thing, they stumbled upon was the law of attraction and the information pertaining to that. However, in metaphysics, there are a lot of different laws that govern our existence. And I have videos talking about universal law and the Kabbalion. And if you want to research those things, I suggest you check out those videos, or you could also subscribe to other videos out there that talk about the Kabbalion. And in the Kabbalion doctrine, they break down all the different universal laws. But the law of opportunity is actually, when you study the 7 universal laws, there's 7 universal laws, and then each law has like 7 other laws, sub-laws up under. So the law of opportunity is locked into the law of attraction, but it's a sub-law up under the law of attraction. Is something that you must know about before you can truly attract. You have to study your opportunity. Now, what is your opportunity? Now, your opportunity is everything that was given to you by yourself before you chose to incarnate here. See, before you chose to incarnate here, you existed in what some people would call the atmosphere. Some people may call them the ethers. Some people may call it the astral realm or the astral plane. But you existed in this realm as a spirit or as a life force. And the only closest thing in this life to compare you to is breath in thought form. So you existed as a thought form before you incarnated into this vessel. And based upon what we believe in metaphysics, because, of course, in religion, they don't believe in reincarnation, so, it will not count for them. So you got to keep in mind, this is coming from the mind of a metaphysician. Based upon what we believe in metaphysics, and according to the laws of karma, your life and the things that were given to you as a baby and the situation that you was born up under was basically based upon decisions that you made in another life. So say, for instance, a person that was born into a rich family, or a person that was born in a single family household, or a person that was born to a mother that may have been on drugs, or a person that was born to a father that may turn out to be a boxer or an athlete. You chose that particular parent or your parents. You attracted your parents together while you were in this atmosphere and in this realm of thought. You were an apple in your parents' eyes before you incarnated into this realm. And it's very important that you understand that, because you attracted your situation so that you can get here. It's the only way that you can come back to this realm is by attracting your parents together. Because in order to come back to this realm, it's an initiation that takes place. And you have to create the opportunity for you to incarnate through. So nothing happens by coincidence. You control the whole situation on the astral realm. But what happens is that when you're born into what we call this plane of manifest, you begin to forget. So you begin to forget the situation that you were born up under. So you may be in a situation right now where you're hearing this information and it sounds profound and it sounds deep. Some of you may already know this information, and that's for those people that have been doing spiritual work. But some people, you may be hearing this information and it sounds profound and deep, like, wow, you're saying that I created this situation for myself, like I chose my parents. And you may be in a time right now where you're not really getting along with your parents and you wonder, why did I choose them? It's not making any sense. Why would I make a decision like this? You have to remember is that when you created this scenario for yourself, when you were a thought form or an emotion or a spirit, which is basically a vessel of breath or a vessel of life without the actual body, when you were in this, it's called your soul body. When you were a soul man or a soul woman, when you were in that situation as a soul man and a soul woman, you didn't have any emotions. You were unbiased. So you didn't have any opinions about whether it was good or bad, or you wasn't in the realm of polarity during that time. So for you, you just wanted to create the situation so that you can incarnate through. And then you finally got here into this meager plane of manifesting, this meager plane of existence. And now you are in this opportunity, because that's what it is. And when you came into this opportunity, the first thing that you were given in this opportunity, when the umbilical cord was cut, there were a few things that you were given. You were given your birthday, but you were also given your time of birth, and this had to happen in a particular location. So that, beloved, set the stage for your opportunity. This is what is called the natal chart. And I know everybody's like, man, you always talking about the natal chart. However, I have to go back over this for people that may be new to the videos. So this is what's called the natal chart. And in this natal chart, it has everything that more so happened in your past life is encoded into this natal chart. And it also tells you about the script. Notice I said the script because the natal chart is a script. So it also describes the script that you were assigned in this life. However, it cannot really tell you about the future, but it can at the same time, depending on the decisions that you make. For a soul that's not so advanced, that may not know about astrology, a person can look in that particular person's natal chart and tell them everything about themselves right now. And not only that, they can tell them about some things that's going to happen in the future. However, a person that may go deeply into the script and deeply into the natal chart to find out that this is like a movie and a play, and they're not deceived, that particular person has an opportunity to change their karma, to shift their karma, to write their own future. So that's why it's called an opportunity. So the so-called lucky amongst us are those particular people that realize that this is an opportunity and decide to research the script and research the events and the situations in the natal chart that may have led up to your birth, and the events and situations that may be playing out in this life, and they choose to decode all of that information. So a lucky person is really a good decoder. Now you do have what's called fool's luck, and this is just when you go off your first thought and you're not really you don't know nothing about no astrology. And there's people out there like that. You just are naturally intuitive and naturally psychic, and you believe in your intuition and you listen to it. So you're like, I don't know nothing about astrology, and I seem to get lucky, and I seem to get things, and I seem to have mastered my opportunity, and I didn't know about astrology. Why was I able to do that? You believe in yourself. So you don't have to know about astrology to master the opportunity. That's the beautiful thing about it. However, some of us that are more left brain people and some of us that require more study, research, and information may want to look into different tools that you can use to learn more about your opportunity. But essentially, this is an opportunity because there is no guarantee that you are going to make it back to this plane, beloved. So you have to live your life to the fullest extent. while you're here. And living your life to the fullest doesn't mean wilding out and doing whatever it is that you want to do. Living your life to the fullest is figuring out what your karma is and going ahead and solving your karma. Now, what is karma? Something I must cover in this video. Karma means to make. Karma is your making. What you make. Or what you have created. And you, remember I just said, you created this situation for yourself. So you have to figure out what it was, what happened in the past life that made you so emotional in this life. Or what happened in the past life that made you so unemotional in this life. Or what happened in the past life that made you so lucky in this life. Or what happened in a past life that made you seem like you can't get a break for shit. It's all based upon the law of opportunity, and it's all based upon learning about your karma and learning about your solar blueprint and your solar makeup so that you can maximize the opportunity. So the first thing you was given was your birth date and your natal chart, but you also was given some other tools along your path. One of the next things that you were given, and maybe even something that you may have been given before you were born, because a lot of people was given this before they were born, you were given a name. And sometimes the name can supersede the natal chart information, just depending on whether or not the parents had already had a name assigned. But what you got to remember is that even those particular people that may have had parents that had a name decided already, you were the one that gave your parents that information. Had you not sent out some telepathic thought while you were in the soul plane still floating around as a spook or a ghost or a spirit, had you not sent that information through, you would have never had that name. So even the name that you were given, you created that name for yourself, beloved, because your name locks you into certain type of karma. Because now you're talking about symbols now. So now you have a name, and your name is based upon characters. Your name may be Jack. Your name may be Keisha. You see, your name may be Jessica. Your name may be Philip. Whatever your name is, it's comprised of different characters. And these characters are symbols. And it's important for you to understand every letter that's in your name. You need to go research the history of that character to figure out, okay, so if your name is Keisha, for instance, where did the K come from? How old is the letter K? What you got to remember is that if you have an English name or if you're using English characters, you probably are going to end up into another language when you begin to research the characters of your name and the symbols of your name. The second thing you want to look at in your name is that your name is associated with different numbers. You may have an A in your name. A is the first letter of the alphabet. So that would be locked into the number 1. You may have a G in your name. G is the 7th letter of the alphabet, which would lock you into the number 7, of course. You may have an I in your last name or in your name, and the I is the 9th letter of the alphabet. So you have different numbers that are associated with different numerological frequencies, and numbers are very key in decoding your incarnation, because if you remember in the Matrix, Neo saw numbers first. Numbers are the oldest and most ancient of symbols, because regardless of the characters that your name is associated with, the numbers don't lie, because numbers have been used long before characters have been used. We were counting things before we were spelling things. So numbers is key, and learning which numbers associated with your name is very important. And there's different systems of numbers, I understand that. But some people that may get deep into this thing and deep into this shit, you may want to learn all the different numbers and all of the different characters. And all of the different, what I mean by that is, like, say for instance, you may want to research your name in Hebrew, where there's a way to research your name in Hebrew, and you can still associate the Hebrew letters and the Hebrew script with certain numbers. If you get into the Kabbalah, this is called the Kabbalah. Other people are more into Egypt. You may want to get into Egyptian numerology. So there's different types of numerology. But numerology is the association of your name with numbers, and it also goes into your birth date as well. But the name is so important because it's called over and over again. Everybody knows their name. Everybody wants to hear their name. If you're waiting in line for something and everybody done order some food, everybody's looking up waiting for their name. Sometimes you get a number when you order some food. When they give you a number, you notice that we use numbers. You should always pay attention to that number because that tells you about your opportunity for that particular time that you're in or for that particular restaurant that you're in. For instance, today I ordered some food and I got the number 13. I've been seeing the number 13 all day. Obviously, I'm associated with the number 13, so I mean, it doesn't, for me, I don't have to go around and wonder, what does that mean? Because people always ask, well, what does it mean if I see the number 13? You have to determine what that means, beloved. Remember, you wrote the script. You may have started writing it in a past life, or some people may have started writing it in a future life, just depending on which way you incarnated in. Some of us incarnated in from the future. Some people incarnated in from the past. But no matter how you got here, at the end of the day, you wrote this shit out. So with that, when you really begin to embrace the law of opportunity, you're going to find out there's no victims. You can't blame anybody for things that happen to you. And when you start looking at things like that, less negative things will stop happening to you. Because now you're taking full responsibility, so of course the negative events and situations will lighten up. So numbers and numerology and astrology, these are all tools to help you to understand your opportunity. There's other things. We can go deeper to the law of opportunity. You were given, shortly after that, you were given a social security number, a lot of you. Regardless of what country you're in, you may have the equivalent to a social security number. But you notice they assigning the number to you. You're like, well, that don't mean shit. That's the matrix, and that's my government information. That don't mean nothing. That means everything. Because your social security number goes into understanding what it means when it says that a good name is worth more than gold in the Bible. And people are like, well, how can I get some gold out of my name? You got to understand your social security number. I can't go into it all here because I don't have time, but you need to research the history behind social security. You see, for those people that's interested in that information about social security, I'll be glad to offer you a nice ebook that I have on the information that you cannot obtain. But we'd have to talk about that personally, and I can set up some type of a package for you to order it, because this is like something that I have personally. It wasn't written by me, it was written by someone else. But you need to learn more about the Social Security number. What is the Social Security number? Each character in the Social Security number means something. It's up to you to learn that, because this is all based upon your opportunity in the matrix. See, the opportunity goes deep. You wonder why you broke and all of this different stuff. You haven't maximized your opportunity, beloved. A name is everything. You may own a business. What name did you use for the business? You're like, well, why ain't my business successful? What name did you put on the business? What's the name of the business? And that will tell you all the reason why maybe it's successful, maybe why it's not. Does it resonate with you and your spirit? Did you make sure that the name of your business vibrated harmoniously with your name? See, things like this is why you need to there's business readings you can do. I mean, there's so much that you can get into once you start understanding this, and that's why a lot of people get confused, because they're like, it's so much and I just don't know where to start because there's so much information. You got to start where you want to start. You got to start on the path that's best for you. See, people, we forget about ourselves. This incarnation is about you. You may say that's selfish, but the first law of civilization is self-preservation. Like I always say in my different videos, and a truly selfish person will end up being selfless, because the more you study about yourself, the more you detach from yourself, because now you know yourself, and now you want to go out and help people learn themselves. See, the reason why people are selfish and they stay in that state is because they don't know enough about themselves. Once they learn about themselves, then all that selfish shit goes away, because now you can see yourself. You see your dark side and your light side, so it makes you very humble, very balanced when you study knowledge of self. So that's why I push people to be self. Like, okay, you want to be selfish? Tell me about yourself. So what you know about yourself? I ask a person that I'm a selfish person. What do you know about yourself? You notice most selfish people, or self-serving people, that's really what I'm talking about. Most self-serving people don't know too much about themselves. They might tell you a little bit. So I know I like to watch TNT. And I know I like to watch hockey. I'm into that. You see what I'm saying? But it's more to yourself than that, beloved. So you need to learn more about yourself. And that will make you more selfless. So it's a lot to the opportunity, beloved. A whole lot to it. You need to know about your ancestors. That's the next stage of the opportunity. Now you know your name and all of that. So now you learn about your family tree. And learn about your ancestral line. Learn as much about it as you can. Talk to the eldest person in your family and ask them as much as you can about your family tree. Because you're studying you. You're studying your opportunity. You want to meet up with your angels and your guides and all of that stuff. But you can't meet them because you haven't connected with your ancestors yet. So you don't even know which angel and guide is right for you. See, we're all connected by cords, beloved. And we get ready to put together a TV show about cords in a minute. Or a segment about cords, an episode on the channel about cords. We're all connected through various different chakras by these cords. And the connection is so deep that you can still be connected with a person that you may have been connected with 50 lives ago through these cords. And the only way for you to move on, if you want to sever the cord, you have to study yourself, which will let you know more about that person. Or sometimes maybe you don't want to sever the cord. You just want to heal the cord. You want to keep the connection, but maybe you just want to heal the connection because maybe it was a little bit of static in it. And maybe when you guys try to communicate, the message ain't coming through clear enough. You see? So maybe you need to reanalyze and rethink your connection that you have with other people. Because this all goes into the opportunity. That's what the opportunity is about. It's really about getting another chance to connect with different people and different energies is what it really is that you didn't have a chance to connect with on the soul plane because of various different reasons. So we all incarnate in groups. And the people that you were connected to in past lives are connected to you in this life. So it's like you don't have to go looking around too far. And those particular people that aren't connected to you in this life, physically, you're connected to them through the astral plane. These are your ancestors. These are your guides. These are people that are looking out for you. They may not be here incarnated at this time, but they may have took on a job or a role as an ascended master. And an ascended master is one who has mastered their karma, and they decided to help people. They're like managers. They've already figured it all out, and they're on the other side. They're not coming back into the body, but they're like, yo, I'll help you, though. I ain't coming back, but I'll help you to master your karma. So we're all connected. Don't hate your father just because he wasn't there. Especially the females, though. I want to say it's definitely the females, and I'm not beating up on females on this video. So don't attack me on this video. But even females out there, a lot of females have men issues because the father leave and the daddy leave, but that's the opportunity that you chose to have. And if you want to learn more about yourself, you're going to have to figure out your connection with your father because the father left because of something in your natal chart. You created that situation. You're like, that's not fair, Ram Hotel L, because how can you say something like that when I know for sure that my father wasn't shit. And he left because he was a fucking drug addict and I don't like him. And how could you say that's just wicked? My father ain't did nothing for me. How could you say that was an opportunity for me? That's cold. It was an opportunity, beloved, for you to heal. Maybe you were the father in another life. And maybe you left your father. Maybe your father was the son. And maybe you left your father. Maybe your father was the daughter. Maybe you left your father. Maybe you were a man in another life. And now you're a woman. Or vice versa. You hate your mama. Men out there hate their mothers and stuff like that. Why would you hate your mother when they're just giving you back energy? They're a mirror for you. People are mirrors for you. And this stuff is so basic, but we make it deep because the reason why we make things deep is because we don't believe that we were here before. You don't believe it. I can say it all day, but you don't believe you were here before. So that's why things seem to be so hard for you to figure out. So this is your opportunity, beloved. Everything that happens to you is a part of your opportunity, business-wise. The 3 tools you need to master your opportunity and to master your karma is astrology, numerology, and meditation. Now, there's other tools out there, but I'll say those are the 3 dominant tools needed to master the incarnation. Now, what you do with your tools is up to you. I know you're like, how am a master artist with just those three things? So what? Go buy all the astrology books in Barnes and Nobles, and go buy all the metaphysical books in Barnes and Nobles, and then come home every day and meditate till my head start hurting, and I'm gonna just figure out my incarnation. Come on, get out of here, man. I need Jesus. I need something outside of myself to help me to master my incarnation. No, you are Jesus. Jesus said, greater works will you do. You are Jesus. Stop looking outside of yourself for solutions and for problems. You're creating them over and over again. Your brain, beloved, I'm going to say this and I'm going to shut down, because this video wasn't meant to be long. Your brain is a super computer, more powerful than all the iPhones, all the laptops, all the iPads, all of that. Your brain is more powerful than that. Your mind, I should say, because your brain really ain't shit. Your mind is more powerful than that. Your mind is so deep, scientists don't even know where it's at. Where's your mind at? Tell me, where's it at? It's not your brain. Where's your mind? Exactly. Most people don't know. Your mind is located and stored away in some reservoir somewhere in another galaxy, and you're channeling that information through your brain. Your mind is so fucking powerful. You have inventions in your mind. People die and they leave all these gifts locked inside of them, vaulted away, and the world can't share in it because you didn't invent it, you didn't bring it out. So now the world's hungry and desolate and cold. It's a cold world because a person didn't choose to fulfill their life script. Fulfill your life script, beloved, so we can be better. I want people to fulfill their life script. Stop trying to be me or be some other fashion model or some person that owns some clothes. Stop looking for preconceived characters in the Matrix. Create a new character. Do something different. That's what mastering opportunity is truly all about. So people wanted me to make this video. That's the sum total of it. Karma's not meant to hold you back. Karma is meant to study as a lesson. That's your homework assignment. Your karma, look at it like your homework assignment to get through school. And you are in a lesson. Shout out to those people that read the Lost Teachings of Atlantis. They're Children of Atlantis, excuse me. Because they talk about the lesson in the script. You see, your karma is a lesson that you need to restudy and go rethink everything that happens to you. I'm going to say this one thing. I'm going to talk about a situation that happened to us today. I was with one of my coworkers and we were en route because, as you guys know, I'm on a spiritual journey right now and I'm passing through a particular state, of which I won't go into here. And in the midst of me passing through this state, I'm lost. I don't know where the hell I'm at. And I'm looking for something, right? So come to find out, the address that I wrote down in the street that I wrote down, it's like 3 different versions of this address in this street, in this particular state. I didn't know that. But guess what? My ancestors knew I was going to be lost. So guess what they did? Because I didn't get scared. I was just like, well, I'm just going to have to find it. So guess what they did? The driver, he didn't know where I was going. I'm the one that created this. I'm the one that was basically looking for this particular address that I wrote down. And I did this in my own personal space, so he had no way of knowing the address that I was looking for. So I told him what I was looking for. I didn't tell him the address. I just told him, I'm looking for this particular street. Can you get me to the street? He got me to the street. However, when I put the information of the address into my phone, it came up that I was supposed to be 20 miles somewhere, or maybe 10 miles on the other side of town with the same address. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to catch the bus back. And the guy was like, hold on, you sure? He calls me right when I thought to myself that I'm going to have to catch this bus back to where I started and go to another part of town. The guy called me to the front of the bus and said, what are you looking for, sir? I think this is your stop right here. He opened up the door to the bus, and I look over, and the landmark that I was looking for was sitting right in front of me. That guy opened the door right in front. He was an angel. Had I had lost faith and started to doubt and got all frustrated and jumped off the bus so earlier, because I had opportunity to jump off the bus earlier, I would have never gotten there. But I just kept faith and said I was going to let the angels find a way for us to get there. Because I didn't know where I was going at this point. If you're looking for an address and it's 3 different versions of that address, say for instance, I'm not going to say the address I was looking for, but say I'm looking for 6500 Apple Street. And it's like 3 different 6500 Apple Streets. in this particular state that or this city that I'm in, actually. 3 different ones. And I'm like, whoa, like, this is crazy. And luckily, I just found 6300 Apple Street. So that's the example of taking advantage of your opportunity and not playing a victim and getting mad at people. And I could have got mad and said, why? Because I mapped it. I mean, I know you're like, well, why didn't you just use MapQuest? I did use MapQuest. They gave me that address. They sent me to an address that wasn't the right address. What I'm trying to say to you is that the computer lied to me. See, we rely on these damn computers. The computer didn't tell me the truth. That man told me where I was going, and he didn't even know where I was going. So what was that? And I got witnesses. That's called looking at life as a mirror, and it comes back to you. Everything you're looking for, somebody around you knows and has the answers to it. If you don't have the answers, somebody around you in your cipher that you have powers to get to can give you the answer. This is not something I'm saying that you have to go out and call the oracle up and pay some money. I mean, sometimes if that's your means, then that's your means. I'm not telling you how to get there, basically what I'm saying. But whatever's in your means, there's someone in your circle that can get you to the next level based upon what you have right now. You can become a millionaire based upon what you have right now, based upon the law of opportunity, no matter what your situation is. You could be in a hospital, about to die. You could still become a millionaire in this life. You have to believe that. The Man in the Secret talks about a woman that was basically told that her heart was not going to work anymore. She was going to have heart surgery, and she may have lost her life. Don't you know her heart regenerated itself on its own because she never lost faith and she believed? See, I'm not here teaching blind faith. What I'm here to teach you is how to find the clues. My job is to make you a spiritual detective so that you can detect things. So you can use numerology and astrology to investigate things. But it's up to you in the end of the day to make the magic happen, beloved. All like Sherlock Holmes and all detectives are spiritual. And I don't fuck with the D's like that. But I'm saying at the end of the day, all detectives are spiritual. So your opportunity, your situation is right up under your nose, beloved. And it's up to you to manifest it. It's up to you to make your situation better. This is your opportunity. So with that, I hope this helped you to understand the law of opportunity, helping you to understand karma. Karma doesn't have to be a negative thing. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. It's not a dark energy. It's neither good or bad. It's simply what you create. And it's up to you to detect where you created. Where's the origins of this karma coming from? It's up to you to detect where the origins are coming from so that you can fix the karma. Just like a good mechanic goes into the origins of the problem that the car is having. You have an oil leak. A good mechanic is going to go to the origins of the leak and fix that particular part of the vehicle. This is how you fix karma. You have to go to the root, to the zero-time reference, and fix it there. Don't cover it up. Don't try to hide it. Don't try to fake it. Fix it. And with that, you can make your opportunity better. So I thank you for listening. I thank you for watching. And until we meet again, namaste to you. Peace out.